Good afternoon, welcome. This is Nolan with Discover NC Homes in Southport, North Carolina. Thank you for joining us. We're actually doing our second segment of the Builder Series. I have here with me George Crane with the Crane Building Company. And thank you for all the questions. We're actually going to discuss Homeowner Association submission, how you get your building plans through the Architecture Review Board, and Energy Star rated homes, a few things that George is doing that's different from other builders. George?
I'm George Crane with Crane Building Company. Thank you, Nolan, for having me on your program. The Architectural Committee meets twice a month. That's for the Homeowners Association, their submission. They require a full set of plans. There are actually 3 full sets of plans and 3 sets of site plans, which all have to be submitted, and if it's not submitted together, then they will not review your submission at all. They want it to be complete. However, you can submit just a plan for a preliminary approval, which and there's a fee associated with that of like $250.
Okay, and can you discuss a little bit what the overall fees are in getting your plan through, and maybe how long the process takes from submitting your plan to getting the final approval?
Okay, once you submit, St. James, the Architectural Control Committee meets twice a month.
Okay.
So, and you have to turn in 1 week prior to their submission date, to their review date. So I've been very fortunate that I usually get approved on the first go around, but it can take, I like to tell customers usually it takes a month to go through 2 submissions. That way there's no questions as far as any changes or anything that go on. But usually it take a month, you figure, to go through 2 submissions.
And what is the fee structure? The
fee structure is there's a road impact fee, which everybody has to pay on a new submission, which is $2,500. There's a $1,750 review fee, which is to the POA, St. James. And then every builder has to put up a $2,500 bond, which that is refundable upon the final survey and everything as an as-built being built as you submitted.
Okay. Well, thank you, George. We're going to head upstairs, and also, if you get a chance, please check out George's website to see some of his work. And the home we're standing in right now will be our featured listing this week. It's in the reserve of St. James Plantation.
Thank you.
We're now standing in the attic of one of George's homes, and he's going to explain to us what he implements in the building process to make these homes Energy Star certified. George?
As Nolan said, Crane Building Company, all our homes will be Energy Star certified, and we have a rater who comes in and rates the homes before we get started and as well when we get finished to make sure that we've met all the Energy Star requirements. I have 3 items up here in the attic which I'll explain to you. The first one here is the Thermoblock. It's a OSB plywood with a thermofoil on the bottom side that helps reflect and keep the heat out of the attic, to try to keep the attic at a more comfortable temperature. And then secondly, we've gone to a 15 SEER efficiency equipment as far as the heating and cooling of your house, whereas the standard building practice in North Carolina is a 13 SEER. So we've upgraded that to a 15 SEER as a standard. And then a third item is anywhere you have attic space that adjoins conditioned space, which would be living space here in the staircase wall or an attic. One of the Energy Star requirements is to have solid plywood, so it helps with heat or air transfusion, so that it keeps the energy warm on this side and the cooler energy out here, and less gaps, less air penetration. And we're just trying to control the heat gain, heat loss using the Thermoblock plywood.
No, that makes sense. And George, if you can just speak to it real quick. Obviously, we're in the attic, and you do these 3 things. Lived down here quite some time. The attic gets very hot. So is that why all of this is going in?
This is why. It is. It helps, again, with the efficiency of the home. We are definitely in a warm and a hot climate and a humid climate. And it just helps regulate the house. Because what we want to do is try to obviously conserve energy so that the units don't run as often, and when they do run, they're more efficient. So.
Very good. Well, we're actually going to head downstairs now and go check out some of George's molding features. Lastly, George is going to run us through his standard molding package.
Okay, now basically what we do in all the living spaces on the first floor, as far as breakfast, kitchen, family room, we do a 2-piece baseboard system with a 1x8, and then we use a base cap that goes on top of that. And as well on the first floor, we'll do rounded corners As you see here in this arch opening, we do a lot of arches in all of our openings versus doing a wood trim.
Okay.
Just to try to keep that smooth transition. And then we do a two-piece crown molding system, again, wherever we do the two-piece baseboard system on the first floor, which we use a piece of panel mold and a 5-inch piece of cove crown.
All right, George. Well, I appreciate you joining us today. Again, his website's below, and hope to see you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.